So this is one of my trucks. The driver called me stating that he had a diesel fuel leak. He could smell diesel fuel, but he could see antifreeze on his grill shell on the top of the hood. It was blowing back on the windshield and all that crap. And I'm like, man, that don't sound good. So I had a sneaking suspicion of what was going on, so I had him go ahead and bring it back in. And sure enough, we do have a radiator plumb full of diesel fuel. So I feel that we've got an injector cup issue. We're going to rip down to the cups really quick. We'll pressure test it. We're only gonna need a handful of tools for this. I got a few impacts. You can do it with a ratchet. I like to not have to swap my sockets over that often. I've got a coolant pressure tester for when we get to that point. You're gonna have a handful of sockets, a lady slipper, obviously your injector cup remover tool, and a shameless plug for these Caterpillar rocker shaft handles that I make. You can find them on blevinsdiesel.com. You don't need this, but man, it makes the job a lot easier. So let's go ahead and get to our injectors. Okay, so I'm gonna pop number 6 injector first, and that is going to drain the rail into the number 6 cylinder. Now the reason I did that is so when I go back together, I'm going to have to suck all of that fuel out of that hole or we'll hydrolock it. And if you pull number 6 first, since the engine is canted backwards, all of your fuel goes into that hole. That way you don't have to suck out each and every one. So you might be asking why I pulled them all when you should just have one leaking. Well, if one's leaking, the rest of them are likely right behind them. And you can see number 4, the coolant is just pouring out of that cup down into the cylinder right now. So you can see that we've got coolant just poured into the cylinder. So from here, we're gonna go ahead, drain the coolant out of the system, the crap that's in the coolant system, I guess. It's not all coolant, it's a lot of fuel. So we're gonna go ahead and drain that so we can pull these cups and get this fixed. So this is an OE cat head. However, I did have it rebuilt at a local machine shop probably 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago now. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it's been a problem ever since. When I got it back, they didn't seat the front cam bearing deep enough, and as soon as I torqued the cam gear, it locked up the whole motor. And then this engine, I in-framed it. I put a gold kit in it at the same time I put this head on. This engine used oil from day one. We're talking 1.5 gallons to 2 gallons a week, and it was horrendous. And I called the old boy up, And he told me it wasn't broken in yet. And I'm like, man, I said, I've done a bunch of these, and I've said, I've never had oil consumption issues like this. Long story short, they put aftermarket valve stem seals in it, and I was told they were cat, but that's here nor there. I ended up making a tool to compress the valve springs while the head's still on the truck one weekend, and I pulled the retainers off and the locks and pulled it out and found out that they were aftermarket stem seals. Put a set of OEM cats in it, and it's been fine ever since. And that's been close to 250,000 miles ago, probably, maybe 200,000 miles ago. All this tool is doing is actually threading into the cup itself. And the cup does not seal the injector to the combustion chamber. The cup is only sealing fuel from coolant. And then from there, I'm just using the force of the threads to pull the cup out of the head. This sucks. So I've taken my wire brushes and I've cleaned my bore thoroughly. I only had 5 new cups that are genuine cat. These old ones are aftermarket. They don't have a part number on them like cat puts their part numbers on them. So I am gonna have to reuse an old one, but I'm gonna go pull one out of another head that I've got. That'll be a genuine cat cup. So if I'm gonna reuse one, I want it to be cat. But anyways, I got a new set of cat O-rings on it. We're going to put a little bit of retaining compound on the bottom O-ring, like you're supposed to. One down, 5 to go. Honestly, going pretty easy. It's the cleaning it up that sucks. So there you can see we've got all of our new cups installed. From here, I'm going to probably go ahead and dress my injector seats with that seat cutting tool just to make sure that they're nice and clean. I will go ahead and vacuum the fuel out of cylinder 6 because that's the first injector we pulled to drain the rail into. And I will also suck all the oil out of all my injector hold down bolt holes, go back together with a new set of injector hold down bolts. So for a vacuum pump, I just use a Mighty Vac automotive hydraulic brake leader. And in the end of that hose, I stick in a piece of 1/4 inch air brake hose. Fits in there mint. And this also allows me to pass through the injector nozzle hole in the head to get to the piston. So I also vacuumed the oil out of the injector hold down bolt holes so I wouldn't have to blow it out with an air gun whenever I go to put in my new injector hold down bolts to keep them from hydrolocking. I never have that's a fact. We got our injectors with our new O-rings on them going back in their original locations. Alrighty, well if you've stuck with me this long, guys, I really appreciate it. The only thing I'm going to do now is go ahead and set my overhead. I'll put my valve covers back on, fill this thing full of water and restore, and flush out the coolant system. And I probably should replace every hose on it as diesel fuel breaks down that rubber. Regardless, we are fixed, we're back together, and we just got to get it cleaned up and ready to run. So, thank you.